Universal Soldier is a 2000, sorry, Universal Soldier Regeneration is a 2009 film, and it continues another new plot line in the Universal Soldier kind of universe, timeline, whatever you want to call it, with the original starting everything out, and then having two direct-to-TV sequels, Universal Soldiers 2 and 3, which I already reviewed on this channel. And then another sequel, I believe being released in 1999, called Universal Soldier The Return. And now in 2009, they redid the timeline once again with Universal Soldier Regeneration and Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning. And I just finished watching Regeneration because I'm going to be reviewing them all, and I need to review Day of Reckoning next and then The Return. But I watched Universal Soldier Regeneration, which is direct-to-video. It's got a Blu-ray release and a DVD release. And I really like the way they made it. Following up from the first one, especially. I mean, like, plot-wise. I mean, like, obviously, like, the film is much more enhanced. It's much more modern. It's got a lot of really, 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 really great set pieces. Action set pieces. The gunplay is great. I mean, right from the opening, you have these terrorists kidnapping these two young kids. I would say like teens or early 20s at most. I would say teens though. And they're at a museum, and then you have this huge shootout where they're the Ukrainian president or prime minister's kids, and they're both kidnapped. And like once they're exiting this museum, and you have this huge shootout with just a massive like car chase and crazy shit going on, where they are taken to a helicopter and then taken off to wherever they're going to be. And then the film opens up with the leader of these terrorists basically giving the president slash prime minister, I'm not sure if it's prime minister or president in Ukraine, but giving him an announcement that they're holding the kids hostage for 48 hours unless their demands are met. And basically their demands are only to release a bunch of prisoners that the Ukrainian president, prime minister, whichever it is, just release these prisoners, and then he'll get his children back. So there's a lot of political stuff going on back and forth. It's not about money. It's more about the terrorists just wanting to be free, pretty much, and basically asking the leader of Ukraine to put his ego aside and let the prisoners go, kind of thing. So after that, we're introduced to a next-gen Universal Soldier, and he's basically been created by this rogue scientist named Robert Collin. And what happened was there was the original Universal Soldiers, which was under Black Tower, I believe. I think that was like the company or the organization that created them. And then there's this other kind of next-gen company that calls themselves White Tower, and they're creating these NGUs, next generation Unisouls or whatever. And this guy obviously is everything you expect him to be. It's like going from the T-800 in Terminator to the T-1000, like just, without the liquid metal, obviously. But, he's just stronger, he's bigger, he's, faster, his agility he's badass pretty much. And basically he's just programmed to go along with this situation that they have, that the terrorists are having within these 48 hours. And they bring in the Chernobyl factory into this film, which I found really cool. They touch back on what happened with the Chernobyl incident in 1986, and they place a bomb in one of the reactors in Chernobyl that will, they mention, be like 100 times stronger than the nuclear bomb dropped in Japan. And that's their threat, basically. So you have that plot point going with this new next-gen USOL. They were going to scrap the whole thing because when they were creating these NGUs, everything went haywire. But this guy, Robert Collin, just basically like stole the the one Universal Soldier top off and started just doing his own experiments on him, kind of thing. And we're also introduced to Luke, the Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got to be in this film, obviously. So does Dolph. Dolph comes in later. Andrew Scott, I believe his name is. And so we're introduced to Luke, and Luke is basically in like rehabilitation by this doctor named Sandra, or is it Sandra? I think it's Sandra. Yeah, Dr. Sandra. And she is basically trying to reintroduce him into society as a human because, he's now part cyborg, but he doesn't want to be, and he wants to be introduced to society. But it's troublesome because his mind is not fully controlled by him anymore. He has to kind of channel himself in a sense. There's a scene, that they're at some kind of restaurant and he just goes haywire on this one guy because he automatically, like, threat mode kind of thing, like his mind kind of takes over itself, and it's really cool. Fight scenes in this film are fantastic. Don't let the direct-to-video thing fool you, which it never should, because direct-to-video doesn't mean cheap. Direct-to-video just simply means that they either didn't want to give it a theater release, or they couldn't give it a theater release because of content, because of budgets, because of 100 things. Direct-to-video does not mean cheap. And this film is not cheap. My God, this film is awesome. This film is such a good follow to, the classic Universal Soldier, and a really good timeline kind of plot. I have to see Day of Reckoning still, obviously, but it does a really good job. Dolph Lundgren also does phenomenal. He comes in later because eventually I don't want to spoil too much, but eventually the terrorists and the Ukrainian leader come to an agreement, and then they shut the timer off on the bomb. But when Dolph Lundgren's character comes in, because of his mental instability and because this Robert Collin idiot doesn't, he's playing with fucking fire, and diving into shit he shouldn't, Dolph Lundgren basically, when he unleashes himself, he just goes rogue himself. So you got great battles between him and the new NGU kind of thing. There's a huge battle between them two. It's fantastic. Luke, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, obviously does a great job, and it's a film that's definitely a lot of fun. They do send in the regular Universal Soldiers to go with the U.S. Army as well into the Chernobyl incident to try to fix the situation, and the Universal Soldiers are just being annihilated by this one NGU, because he's just so much stronger and more powerful than these first generation Universal Soldiers. So that was really cool to see. The kids are great. The kids actually did a really good job in performance wise. And there's a line from a girl. She's one of my favorites. She says, "I'd rather die than see my dad give in to you." And she's ready. She's determined. She does not want to negotiate with these terrorists whatsoever. And you can tell that she's tough. She's toughening it out. She's not scared. She knows her morals, and she knows her beliefs, and she knows where she stands, which I found really cool. When Dolph Lundgren and when Jean-Claude Van Damme show up, they're really introduced very well, and they're given an entrance, both of them, that will really resonate with fans of action movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme fans, Dolph Lundgren fans, and Universal Soldier fans. So the film knows its audience, and the film delivers in, what a Universal Soldier film should be. So I really enjoyed this one, and I really can't wait to see the next one. So that's basically what I got on Regeneration. It's streaming on Amazon Prime right now. Both of them are, so that's how I'm seeing them. But they will be on my buy list. Absolutely. So subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with plenty more. There's plenty already on the channel. Till next time, cheers.